we're going to start off with frog rock. We're going to squat behind the ball, bringing our pubic bone towards the ball, draping our body over the ball, front of our chin connecting to the ball, knees in line with our toes, staying on the balls of our feet. We're going to rock forward, cushioning through the palms, wrists, elbows, and shoulders, rocking back, cushioning through the ankles, knees, and hips. Neck and head stay relaxed and dangle as we rock forward and back. From there, we're going to go into diver. So as we start from that frog position, we're going to propel forward, directing our hairline towards the floor, pressing back through the muscles around our shoulder. As we do, so as we propel forward, legs come together in a straight diagonal. We're returning back to the squat. Again, as we dive forward, nice diagonal. Head, top of the head and toes reaching in opposite directions, lengthening on a great diagonal, cushioning, and then propelling back through the muscles around the shoulder. From there, we're going to go to squat to overhead reach. We'll grab our bells. Sitting on the top of the ball, we are going to walk forward, keeping our sacrum, our tailbone connected to the ball, walking down into a squat. Feet, ankles are in line with the knees. Feet are about hip width apart. Pressing through the feet, driving our sacrum into the ball. We can bring the bells to our shoulders. We're going to straighten our legs. And as we straighten our legs, we can rest and lay back over the ball, resting our head and relaxing our neck. And then we can adjust, maybe walk back a little bit so that our sacrum has the most pressure on the ball. As we're doing so, remember to hollow your abs. And we'll come back, once you have that position, we'll come back into a squat and do a few straightening and squatting. Once we've done a few of those, we can add our arms. So as we extend our legs, straighten our legs, we're going to straighten the arms, reaching overhead. And as we come back, softening the knees into the squat, we also bring the bells back to our shoulders, extending out, hollowing the abs, keeping our feet connected, and arms straightening in that continuum there. From there, we can drop the bells off to the side as a nice support. We can interlace our hands behind our head, bring our chin to the chest, and then come up from that. All right, next is slant board. We're going to start with downhill, so toes downhill. We can grab one bell and make sure our heel is in line with the second and third toe. We're going to step up onto that board and just also make sure that your toes are all in good alignment. So if you might need to make a couple adjustments there, perhaps giving a little space between each toe, getting a good alignment. Knee is directed between the second and third toe. We're going to reach the bell in the opposite hand, straight overhead, lifting the head, lifting the torso, floating the head, lengthening through that arm, supporting that lift, and the hollowing the abs as we feel and connect with all five toes. We're going to go into a small dip, making sure our knee is in line with the second and third toe as we go into that dip. So active through all five toes, active through our inside arch, feeling that arch, one of the three arches. So we may find that spiraling, so that knee drives a little bit outward so it stays in line with that second and third toe. So that arch is lifting that inside arch. From there, we're going to go arch downhill. Same principles in that, make sure that heel is in line with the second and third toe as we step up. Here we are going to need to pay a bit more attention to kickstanding through that big toe, as that knee is going to want to collapse inward. So if we drive and kickstand through the big toe and think of spiraling that knee outward, we can create that lift in that arch. Again, we're going to straighten the opposite arm overhead with the bell. And from there, we can do some short dips, some small dips. Again, really paying mindful attention to spiraling that knee outward so it stays in line with that second and third toe. If you can be in front of a mirror, that's really ideal. Arm is lifting, head is floating, torso is lifting, abdominals are hollowing throughout that. Awesome. We'll go on to pipes. We're going to start off with toes in. Pipes are about hip width apart. Toes, big toe especially, is on the inside of the pipe. And then we'll also feel some pressure of our inside of our heel on the outside of the pipe. So all 10 toes active. And we should feel that our toes are pulling the pipes apart as the pipes roll apart, and that heel can help pull the pipes back together. But the toes are going to stay active. It's almost like a win-win. Heel wins, toes win, but they're both working. So nobody's giving out. So making sure all 10 toes are staying connected. Knees are a bit soft, back is relaxed and long. So driving as the pipes go out, we're pulling those pipes apart with those toes. The inside of the heel is helping control that as well. So then we'll go toes out. You may want to widen the pipes just a tinge or not. Toes are on draping over the outside of the pipe, keeping as much of the foot on the pipes. All, again, feeling all 10 toes. We're rolling apart, staying active in the arches with both all the pipe exercises. We're still staying, even though we have the support of the pipe in that inside arch, we can help that give us that support there. We're still staying active. So staying active in all 10 toes, keeping them as connected as we roll the pipes out, and then heel drops in as the pipes come in. So still lifting, again, remembering all of your essentials as you're doing the pipes. As you're doing all of these exercises, right? All right, pullover is next. So we're going to sit on the ball, and we are going to walk out into a bit of a bridge, but we're going to keep the top of your glutes connected to the ball. Feet, again, ankles in line with the knees, and we can then rest, lay our head back on the ball, and we'll have our the bells right start at our shoulders as we just double check our positioning. Our tailbone or our sacrum should be pointing towards our shins. Abs are hollowing. And then we can then bring our elbows pointing up towards the ceiling. The bells are going to be at our ears. Palms are facing away from us. And then as we're going to begin to lower or drag the bells as close to the ball as we can, and then bringing the bells back to our ears. So dragging the bells down the ball, trying to keep those elbows pointing straight up and keeping them the same distance apart so that they're not flaring out. And again, just dragging, feeling the muscles around the outside of along the side of the rib cage as we drag these bells, still hollowing, tailbone directed towards the shins. All right, and from here too, you can again give a little support, bringing the chin to your chest by interlacing behind your head, and that would be great. Okay, beautiful, and then we come up out of that. Next is horizontal wall squat, and from there, hopefully you can see me. I'm going to be straight arm, palm flat on the wall to get our spacing correct. And I'm going to have the ball touching my calf so that I can sit on the ball. Now from here, I'm going to walk my feet up the wall. And at this point, my feet are a bit one and a half hip distance apart. My sacrum is pressing into the ball. My feet are driving into the wall. That's helping drive that sacrum into the ball. Ankles and knees are in alignment, and I'm going to interlace my hands behind my head, and as we push away or straighten the legs, straighten the knees, we're gonna lay back over the ball. Head is supported by my interlaced hands. Elbows are wide. So we're going to do some squats. So we're extending over the ball and returning back to that starting position. So extending over the ball, we'll feel the weight of the head helping to open up the shoulders. As we straighten the knees, also we'll feel a great tug on the abdominal wall, staying active, hollowing, and making sure we're staying connected, driving force through our feet, staying connected, driving into the sacrum, and rolling back, and then rolling back towards, away from the wall, and then returning back to the wall. Now this one especially, we're going to, getting out of this, bring our chin to our chest, and from there, we can now wrap our hands around our knees, and as that support helping us get up as we walk our feet down the wall and then come back down. All right, lastly, but not least, we'll grab one bell and do our plie wall squat. So with this, our starting position, hips are at the equator of the ball. So it's probably much lower than you think. So have that at the equator of the ball. We're gonna walk our feet away from the wall, away from the ball, and wider. Our feet will be slightly turned out, and a good, probably a good hip and a half at least width apart. And we'll have a good check when we go into the squat if you're in the right position from there. We're gonna bring the bell overhead, arms are straight, lengthening of that spine. You should feel like your sacrum is pressing into the ball from this position. Now we'll just drop down into the squat. We can just double check that our knees are in line with the ankles again, and we'll lower and raise. So we should feel, in essence, as we're lowering the arms, they're really still going in two different directions, right? The tailbone or the sacrum is lowering as our arms are just lifting. So we shouldn't feel any real work through the quads. That's a good stopping point. If you do, stay connected through the feet. Of course, be mindful of all of our essentials. Hollowing the abs, lifting the torso, relaxing the back, floating the head, and shoulders fall in place. We can then, we can add a little pulse if you'd like. So go down into the squat and just do a little pulse, and then come out and then lower that back down. All right, hope that works.